Welcome back to IC News. Welcome back to IC News. Tonight's top story. The New York Yankees hosted the Houston Astros in New York City this evening, and joining us from Yankee Stadium is sports reporter Steve Altieri. Steve?
Thanks, Catherine. I'm here outside Yankee Stadium where the New York Yankees just played for the first time in the one-game wild card playoff. Major League Baseball started this 3 years ago, and for the first time, the most successful MLB franchise is playing in it. So if we take a look at tonight's game when they played the Houston Astros, the Yankees had Masahiro Tanaka on the mound, and early on in this one, he struggled. He gave up a couple of moonshots. This one right here made it 1-0 in the top of the second. And then a little bit later on, he gave up a second home run, and that was not what the Yankees wanted early on in this one. Four innings in, already down 2-0. The Yankees, they couldn't get any runners anywhere. Alex Rodriguez was quiet, even though he almost got a couple of big hits. They couldn't get a single runner to third base, let alone to score. So the Yankees fell in this one 3-0 on a quiet night. And the mood outside of Yankee Stadium, it's a bit somber. Fans are not cheering, obviously, because of the loss. Catherine?
Now, what was some of the reaction of some of the players or coaches after the game?
Well, in the post-game press conference, manager Joe Girardi was a bit disappointed for obvious reasons, but quoting him, he said, "Guys are beat up, but they never stop playing," talking about his team. "They never stop playing hard. They never stopped giving me everything they had." And he added how extremely proud he was of how this team performed, which the Yankees before the year weren't even considered a playoff potential team. They had a successful season, and so even though they lost in the playoff game tonight, they had the season they wanted. So reporting from Yankee Stadium, I'm Steve Altieri.
Well, thank you, Steve. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at some D1 basketball highlights. Stay with us. Welcome back to IC News. Tonight's top story. The New York Yankees hosted the Houston Astros in New York City this evening. And joining us from Yankee Stadium is sports reporter Steve Altieri. Steve?
Thanks, Catherine. I'm here outside Yankee Stadium where the New York Yankees played for the first time in the wild card matchup. The MLB's most successful franchise played in the game that Major League Baseball started 3 years ago. And if we take a look at tonight's game when the Yankees hosted the Houston Astros, Masahiro Tanaka was on the mound for New York, and he struggled early on. If you look in the top of the second, he gave up a big home run that got Houston going early, and then in the fourth, he did it again. He gave up a second home run. It was 2-0 early on. Now moving over to the Yankees side, they couldn't get any offense going. Alex Rodriguez was kept quiet after the big season that he had, and the Yankees overall, they didn't get a single runner to third base, let alone all the way to score. So the New York Yankees fell in this one 3-0, which is not what they wanted going into the game. It's a somber attitude outside of Yankee Stadium where fans are filing out now. But if we take, but that's all that we have out here, Catherine.
Yes, Steve. So what was one of the reactions of the players or the coaches after the game?
Well, after the game, manager Joe Girardi had a somber attitude as well. But quoting him now, he said the guys were beat up, but they never stopped playing. They never stopped playing hard. And he added after that how extremely proud he was of this group, which before the season wasn't even predicted to make the playoffs, not even be close to the playoffs. So this team gave it their all. They did everything they could, but the playoffs, one game is disappointing, but that's what they could do. Reporting from Yankee Stadium, I'm Steve Altieri.
Well, thank you, Steve. Coming up after the break, we will have some highlights on D1 basketball. Stay with us. Welcome to IC News. Tonight's top story. The New York Yankees hosted the Houston Astros in New York City this evening. And joining us from Yankee Stadium is sports reporter Steve Altieri. Steve?
Thanks, Catherine. I'm here outside Yankee Stadium where the New York Yankees for the first time played in the new Major League Baseball wild card one-game winner-go-home playoff that was started 3 years ago. The MLB's most successful franchise was playing the Houston Astros tonight. After having the better record, they were able to host. But taking a look at tonight's game, the Houston Astros at New York, Masahiro Tanaka on the mound for the Yankees. Early on, he gave up a big home run in the top of the second inning, which got Houston going early. Then, top of the fourth, he gave up another one, making it 2-0 Astros early on in this one. Then, on the other side, if we look at the New York Yankees offense, they couldn't get going at all. Alex Rodriguez, after the big year that he had a tough night. He had a couple of opportunities, but he wasn't able to capitalize on them. And the Yankees, they didn't get a single run to third base, let alone scoring. So the Yankees fall in this one 3-0 to the Houston Astros. Back to you, Catherine.
Now, Steve, what was some of the reactions of the players or the coaches after the game?
Well, everyone after the game had a somber attitude, and specifically manager Joe Girardi in the post-game press conference seemed disappointed for obvious reasons, but he did say the guys are beat up, but they never stop playing. They never stop playing hard. They never stopped giving me everything they had, and he added how extremely proud he was of this team, a Yankees team that, despite their usual big expectations before the season, wasn't predicted to go this far. So a big performance by the Yankees this year, not a big performance tonight. Reporting from Yankee Stadium, I'm Steve Altieri.
Well, thank you, Steve. Coming up later on in the show, we'll take a look at some of the D1 highlights of basketball. Stay with us.